Well, it's been a while, but this is the 131st episode of the Rebel Scum podcast. My name is James Ozile, being joined with...
James. Oh, I mean Brock.
Brock is joining me right here.
The Rebel Scum podcast coming
Rebel
to
Scum
you
podcast.
through YouTube's and...
On YouTube. And also, anywhere you get your podcasts, that's where we also are. Check out Digital Charcuterie, though that might change. Brock, we're going to talk about that after the show. But check us out. We're everywhere. We also have the Outlander Club, a Rebel Scum podcast, and we have That's So Wizard, where Andrew Fantasia talks for an hour about movies.
Sounds awesome.
I don't know. Yeah, it actually it is. Not. It's a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. If you are watching us on YouTube, give us a like and a subscribe. And if you are listening to us, just our lovely voices on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeart Music Canada. I don't know what the hell. Everything you can, give us a subscribe and a 5-star rating. No less than 5-star, because we deserve 5 because my internet is holding out today. Brock, what's up?
Oh, you know, just living the good life. It's summertime. Officially, we've a week into it. No, tomorrow's
almost a week. Tomorrow's a week. Wait, well, by the time this goes up, it'll be a week for sure. Yeah. A week ago, Star Wars Celebration shocked the world.
Yes.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Within an hour, the VIP and 4-day passes were sold out. Soon to be followed by adult Saturdays, which is so funny.
And then a couple days later was Friday.
Yep.
It is. So I was under the impression that it would sell out quickly, but not as quickly as last year. I was thinking a week. I thought for sure you'd have a week to get 4-day passes, and so I did not get a 4-day pass. Neither did you.
Oh,
But it was our birthday. So for me, I was busy. I was out. I was having a good time enjoying my life. And I was like, you know what? I will check Twitter and Instagram. And they said 4-day passes 90% sold out. And I was like, oh, man, Aaron, let's just get them. And I went on and they were gone. I'm like, what? This is insane. So I called you immediately. And you were like, it's my birthday. Get off the phone. And you hung up on me. And then you bought day passes.
Yeah.
But were you shocked that they went so quickly?
Yes and no. I mean, that's way faster than Chicago. But after Chicago being Chicago, I was like, well, we should probably jump on it. And then once I purchased my 4-day passes plus an extra Saturday for my lovely girlfriend, Reham, who patiently loves to go with me to these things. But she can only do 1 day at a time. And then she's like, I am going to go to the parks, the Disney parks. So long, suckers. That's what she likes, how she ends all our dates. So long, sucker. After getting the bill for that, I was like, oh, boom. I understand why people get 4-day passes, because you save, I think almost $200. I'm like,
yeah, you save a lot.
So
I just think it's ridiculous how fast they sold it.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I don't know. It just seems like, there's something wrong when a convention a year and 2 months prior can sell out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I feel almost like it's a scam. Like I've been catfished by Celebration. like an hour, you're telling me, I know there's a lot of people, but maybe you're selling less 4-day passes than normal at that point. In an hour, give me a break. That's what got me. And look, I don't care. I'm going all 4 days regardless.
Yeah.
But an hour, I feel bad for, you know who I actually feel bad for the people that went to Celebration Chicago, spent 2 years saving up for that, and they were like, you know what, I want to go to Anaheim, but I can't buy my ticket right away. I've got to wait just a little while longer. And now they're like, well, I got to wait for, I don't know, Light or all those third-party websites to sell secondhand tickets to them because they sold out in an hour. And I'm not saying scalpers bought all the tickets. That's not where I'm coming from. I just think that they're not selling the amount of 4-day passes. Now, Saturday pass is another story completely.
Yeah.
But I feel like, especially since they haven't announced anything, because I'll say this to you, Brock, right now. From Orlando, from when we went in Orlando, even this year in Chicago, Saturday, Sunday, but Saturday is, for me, not an interesting day to go. to Celebration. The good stuff happened on Friday and Thursday when we were in Orlando. Saturday was Rebels, which was great. But if you remember, we were burnt out on Saturday. We left at like 2 in the afternoon. We were like, I wanted to go to Battlefront 2. And once that ended, you were like, I'm good to go if you are. So obviously that changes for you with your girlfriend going, because now you'll spend most of the day there. But for me, I'm looking at Saturday like, well, that's the day I'm probably going to duck out early because I will be tired from the previous, especially since you think about Empire Strikes Back will probably happen on the Thursday again, just like A New Hope. Friday will be whatever the big thing is. And then Saturday, maybe Clone Wars Season 8?
Maybe, yeah.
Rebels, imagine Rebels Season 6, Brock. Just imagine.
No,
Rebels Season 6.
It wouldn't even be Rebels. It would be Ahsoka and Sabine.
Yes.
Back to the future. And I'm like,
like Anaheim, and I hate to say it, Anaheim Convention Center would just blow up. It would be boom.
Yeah.
Like the roof would pop off, and everybody would like run around ripping their t-shirts, like
Ashley Eccleston would be somewhere just sobbing because she likes to cry about Star Wars, which is awesome.
But her universe is raking in the dough at that point.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh my God, bring it in, bring it on. Like, could you just like? I don't think that's gonna happen, but if it did, like, I mean, Clone Wars and not being announced was insane. But imagine just like Saturday, they're like, "There's a Dave Filoni panel. This is my panel, and I just want to tell you, Ahsoka Sabine series. Oh my God! It'd be like the Lakers winning the NBA championship, just like street fires and like people like slam, like it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I'd totally be down for that. But do you have any expectations for Anaheim? Aside, obviously, from what we just decided is going to happen now?
I don't, because it's sort of, you're right. We said this a couple weeks ago or last week, or I don't know. I can't remember when things happen anymore. There's no movies coming out at that time. We might be talking more about Disney Plus stuff. But the next movie won't be on the horizon for a while. I mean, they could drop some little hints, I guess. That's what I kind of like. I like it when they drop a little bit of information every like 6 months about future projects. And like, I'm totally fine if like whatever they announce ends up being like untrue or something, or not untrue, just they change it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I have no expectation. I'm excited because I changed my vacation this summer to not go to California, because it's like, it doesn't make sense to go 2 times in a row. So I'm going to be hyped to go there anyways, to see Disneyland for the first time, and then hopefully Galaxy's Edge. But I know it's a good spot, I think. I think I've said this before. It's cool that like Disneyland is across the street. I looked it up. It's literally, I think they share a parking lot, the convention center and Disneyland.
Yeah, you and your girlfriend are all over that. Like,
so.
All over that. You know, like, people are saying on Monday's live stream, by the way, Monday, 7 p.m. live streams, that you know way too much about what's going on there. But that's good for me as somebody that's going to be going there with you.
Yeah.
Because I get to reap the benefits of you knowing, and it's so so Erin, my wife, is obviously coming.
My wife.
And for some reason my sister has decided to come as well, the Thursday and Friday only. She's like I'm no more. I can only do Thursday, Friday. So my youngest sister's coming, but she is looking more forward to Galaxy's Edge, Brock. She's like, I want to go to Galaxy's Edge. I'm like, all right. I don't know when we're going to go to that, but we'll go.
Didn't she just go to Orlando with her friends like a couple months ago or something like that?
She's going again in September to Orlando, yes.
She's got the Disney bug, or just the Orlando. Yeah.
She does, but you know what? She wasn't with us at Orlando, but she loves the Harry Potter world. And so I think if you like Harry Potter and you like Star Wars, how would you like having that experience in the Harry Potter world? For me, who like I like Harry Potter, but I don't have a Harry Potter podcast, obviously. But I like it. But being there, I was like, this is super cool. Like, you love Harry Potter. You've read all the books and everything. So your experience was a little bit more intense than mine, probably. But I was like, this is amazing. And to hear Galaxy's Edge, it's like, like tenfold, you know?
It's funny. Like, I went with Reham, my girlfriend, last summer. It was her first time to Universal and then her first time to Disney. So we did Universal and then 2 Disney parks. And it was a it's a slog doing that many parks in a week if you're. Because we had other plans too, so it was like something every day. But she liked the Harry Potter, but Disney just blows every other park out of the water. So the way Universal's kind of set up in Orlando, she didn't. And it was also super duper hot, so like it might be better to give it a. Though I will. Now that you mentioned Stacy, your sister going, and she wants to go to Harry Potter World. I think Universal in California would be more interesting because I believe that's an actual movie lot, correct? Isn't parts of it an actual movie lot?
I think, but she's been to Harry Potter and stuff like that.
Oh, so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's a slightly
Yeah.
better experience. Because I know there's the Paramount lot you can go to, which I know is the same, not the same thing, but...
Yeah, it's different. I've been to both Universals, Florida and California, and they're essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think they had ET in California anymore, but they did in Orlando. So, Orlando, you win! Although I'm still mad about the Jaws ride. Like, come on,
I
man.
think the Jaws ride is in L.A. still.
No, it's part of the tour. It's part of the tour.
Oh, it's part of the tour. Okay.
So you go on the tour, and then they're like, oh, a shark's coming. Oh, it's Jaws. And you're like, oh, my God, there's a shark on the boat. That's scary. But I was super impressed with that because I love Jaws.
Yeah.
And I bought Jaws bathing suits, and Aaron's like, you're an idiot. And I said, am I? And so we agreed to we just agreed to disagree, and I wear my bathing suit all the time now. It's Jaws. I don't care.
Oh, speaking of Jaws, I think I've told you this in the past. Now you can start watching Jaws when you watch Jaws as the movie progresses, right? Because I believe it starts on the last week of June, the movie, chronologically, so you can watch bits and pieces of Jaws as it happens. So you watch.
But you know what? Yeah, you watch a scene at a time.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have a panic on our hands on the 4th of July. I saw on my birthday. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, or maybe it was like 11. It might even have been past it might have been like midnight or whatever. I go, Aaron, I want to watch Jaws, and I watch Jaws like every day, and she said, okay. I was in shock. Like, normally it's like, and then she puts on Game of Thrones or something. And I'm like, I just want to watch Jaws. I just want to watch the scene where Richard Dreyfuss comes by and starts pouring the wine. And then Chief Brody pours the wine. And he pours himself a giant glass. That's all I want to do. I just want to watch that. And I watched it.
What is the town called in Jaws? Is that Amityville?
Amityville, yeah.
Which is hilarious. Amity. I'm always like horror Amityville or...
I think they're actually both like the same. I don't know. They're in America. It's America. 4th of July. There's going to be a panic on your hands on the 4th of July. By the way, I got feedback from an actual editor on my book Capeside Bay this week, which shocked the hell out of me. Like, I got this email. And they're like, here are my editorial points. And I'm like, oh, let's see what this person did not read. And they actually read the book and gave me points. Like, not points, but like points. Like, here's what needs to be improved. Here's what we should work on and develop. And I was like, I appreciate this. Thank you. And but the one thing they said was, your mayor, I loved your mayor. It was the mayor from Jaws. Nothing to change. And I was like, yeah. And that, I mean, you've read it. That's the point. Like, the Jaws is the mayor is the mayor, and that's the point of the mayor. Like, I don't even hide that.
We will have this 4th of July party or... What is the event?
It's Labor. I went Labor Day. I went Labor Day because it can't all be. But like that. But that was the thing. Like the mayor was the huge homage to Jaws, and I was not afraid. I didn't shy away from it. I'm like, this is just who this mayor is. Like, let's do it. And I was, because the last editor that they gave me did not read it at all. Yeah. And it offended me greatly. But this person actually read it, and I was like, these are the points I wanted to hear. So anyway, that was a side Akbar on that. So. I don't know how we got into Jaws, but we did. Anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit about Galaxy's Edge quickly. This is from our good friend Nessa. I'm not going to go. Yeah, you know Nessa now. We don't want to go highly into what she gave us some amazing detailed emails going into it. Yeah, so we'll talk about that on another day. Probably when our other friend Mason, he's working on a video for us about Galaxy's Edge. Right. So I just want to talk a little bit about this. We touched on these briefly on the live stream, but the drinks at Galaxy's Edge, Brock. The drinks. Yeah. And the food. But mostly, let's be honest, the drinks. What is going to make my wife agree to go to Galaxy's Edge with me? Getting tanked at Disney. So we'll start with a Tatooine Sunset, and this is unsweetened tea lemonade with melon and blueberry. That sounds actually delicious. That's non-alcoholic. It sounds like, and that's only $5.49.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Which is like $8 Canadian. I could it's Disneyland. I could deal with that. Melbourne juice, which is agua fresca pineapple lemonade with blueberry, white cranberry juices. Oh, this sounds good too. Lemon juice and desert pear, not dessert. I can't read. Also $5.49. Here's when they go. Sour Sarlacc. Limeade, I'm in. I love limeade.
Yeah.
Limeade, raspberry, and spicy mango.
Ooh. I do like that.
Actually, that's also $5.49. Moof juice.
Moose juice?
Moof juice. Also $5.49. It's pineapple passion fruit, and it's a kombucha.
Ooh, kombucha.
Aaron loves kombucha.
Yeah, so does Reham.
It's basically just carbonated water that's colored. I don't care what anyone says. There's no flavor in kombucha.
It's distilled tea is what it is.
It is carbonated water.
Or not distilled.
It's flavorless tea.
What do you do to alcohol? You distill it, right?
Yeah, it's flavorless, Brock. Yeah. Let's just agree on that. She's like, this is so good. I'm like, it's red. It's a redder version of the last water we had. I'm just joking. It's fine. I'm only joking. She loves it, though, and it's not a cheap. Fountain drinks. I don't know. Apparently, that's what they call them at Galaxy's Edge. $4.19. Water bottles are $3.99. Relatively cheap for water in comparison to Canada's Wonderland here in Canada. Mm-hmm. Again, this is my favorite comment. There's too much food to list, but the prices range from $7.49 to $18.99 per item. The lower end being snacks. All right. Here we go. Alcoholic beverages. $14 drinks are the Jedi Mind Trick. The Jedi Mind Trick is Kettle One Botanical Grapefruit and Rose Vodka, John D. Taylor's Velvet Falernum. I don't know what that is. Bowls Blue Curacao.
Curacao.
Curacao. I can read. White. I can't actually see my computer screen. I need a new prescription. White grape juice. Oh,
white grape juice.
So good and not popular enough, in my opinion. Lime juice and grapefruit bitters. Bitters. Jedi Mind Trick is creeping his. I am putting away $20 Canadian for that one, maybe. Jet Juice Maker. Jet Juice is what it's called. Maker's Mark Bourbon. Okay, I might be switching. Ancho Reyes Chile Liqueur, or is that Anco? I don't know. There's a lot of words I can't spell. This also has white grape juice in here too. For $15, you can get the fuzzy. Brock, I'm gonna buy you this drink when we go.
Sick, man. I love it because it's and you know they gotta have like collector cups or whatever funky glasses. Similar to, I don't know if you ever heard of this. It's in Orlando and in LA, I believe, or Anaheim rather. Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar. It's sort of like in one of like the hotels, but like it's known for its crazy glasses. Like one's like a piranha, it's like and you drink out of it. So and people will go there and just like spend like probably $30 on glasses alone, not including what's in it. So I'm so psyched for that.
We should do it. Well, this one I'll buy you. This one. This is the Fuzzy Tauntaun. Peach Ciroc, which by the way we bought in Orlando, and I just had it on Saturday. Oh my God,
Peach Ciroc,
so good. Yeah, Peach Ciroc, so good. There's other stuff in there as well. Nice. T16 Skyhopper. That's handmade vodka and a bunch of other stuff. Dagobah Slug Slinger. That's tequila. That's too strong for my blood. Mm-hmm. For $16, you get one called the Outer Rim. I believe that is X-rated. You get Patron, out of my league as well. It's Patron, lime juice, pure cane sugar, topped with black salt and exotic fruit
black
puree.
Salt.
Yeah, for $16, it should be gold salt. $17, you get the Bespin Fizz, which is Bacardi Superior Rum, which is just from Brampton. So really, this should be like $2. Yuzu Puree, pomegranate juice, white cranberry juice. They're all about the white cranberry here. and Cloud Swirl. And Brock, this is the one that I think as a group, as a collective, we should have. And maybe we should get one for one of our Patreon members if we all go together.
Yeah.
We might not be able to get it. But if we did, the Yub Nub.
Yeah.
The Yub Nub is Malibu Pineapple Rum. This sounds like it's up your alley. Sailor Jerry Spice Rum, citrus juices, and passion fruit served in a souvenir Endor mug.
Now, I don't understand two types of rum. I'm not a rum person per se. I mean, I'll try this drink for sure. But like spice rum and then coconut rum. Is that what coconut something rum? Is that was the first one? I just like that just seems a little crazy.
Yeah, it's pineapple Malibu. So Malibu pineapple rum would be super sweet. And like Malibu and a Coke is like you're like I'm on vacation. Spice rum is smooth. Like spice rum isn't bad, but like the Kraken. Like is it they use the Kraken? Do you think? I don't think so. I think they use like what's that one? The Wisers. They don't use Wisers. It's American. They only use Wisers.
That's Canadian. Yeah, Canadian. That's like a rye.
Yeah, they wouldn't use it. Yeah, with spice though. They have the spice one, is what I mean. Though.
Yeah,
It's all. I don't know. And then beers are $12 to $14 per pint, which is more expensive than Universal's Harry Potter World.
Yeah.
They justify it because they're craft beers, but so is Harry Potter's. So, look, I'll say this: I like craft beer. I actually love, you do too. Like we both go in craft breweries. It's fun. They're way too expensive though. And this is even more expensive. So there you go. And she's actually has sent more emails, but we'll get into those.
Thank you so much, Nessa.
Because it's awesome. Just like you and I obviously haven't been there, but just hearing other people's experience there is just so much fun. Like living vicariously through everybody else. I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how because you said there's some craft brews on there, but you think like Disneyland would have their own craft brews. I don't think they do. I don't remember seeing anything like that. Disneyland I've not been to Disneyland, but Disney World.
This is what I don't get is they're like, this is the only place in Disney you can drink. But in Orlando, like everywhere but the Magic Kingdom had alcohol.
Yeah.
But actually I think Galaxy's Edge is actually in Magic Kingdom in California.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Whereas in Orlando, it's in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
So drinking, you can drink in Hollywood Studios because I had a mango margarita at 11 a.m. And we were debating it, and then this 50-year-old guy walked up and he goes, "I'm on vacation," and I was like, "Well, we are too. So why aren't we having a mango margarita?"
And you're like, "Relax, Jeff."
But then the Stormtrooper parade happened with Captain Phasma, and we were like, "This is amazing!" And just that experience combined with what you Galaxy's Edge is. This is the weird thing for me is Orlando is this immersive. So it's Galaxy's Edge is an immersive experience, whereas Star Tours and that parade is not. That is that's an attraction, and you're seeing people. Whereas when you go to Galaxy's Edge, you're meant to feel like you are in the Star Wars world. Which, Brock, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Hanna-Barbera Land at Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like this is just a rip-off of Hanna-Barbera Land, where you got to eat lunch in a Flintstone car, and you felt like you were in there, and you went on the Ghoster Coaster, and Scooby-Doo was in Shaggy's arms because there were ghosts. Now that doesn't exist. It's all SpongeBob and whatever. I just want to say, there was a Smurf Village. I don't know if you remember the Smurf Village, but you walked through the Smurf Land. It feels just like that. So somebody needs to figure out what's going on. Because I miss Hanna-Barbera Land. And I want to go to Galaxy's Edge. And that's my rant. Do you remember the Smurf Village at all?
Yeah,
were you old
I
enough for that?
I do. I didn't go on rides, but I went on to all those things.
Well, that wasn't a ride. That was just you walk through and you're like, "Oh, Papa Smurf, look out, Gargamel's gonna get you."
But that's what I mean. I remember that stuff because that's all I did. I didn't go on any rides.
You're the worst. You did go on that Harry Potter ride and you loved it.
Oh god. And now that roller coaster that you and Aaron went on, I didn't, is now Hagrid's motorcycle adventure or whatever it is. It's still a roller coaster, but it's like.
I lost my voice on that damn ride. I was yelling oh man. Oh man, you were carrying my glasses, and we got. I'm like, I can't find Brock. I can't see anything. I was walking around with my arms out, like. Ah.
And I'm just standing there in not Diagon Alley. It's Hogsmeade, and I'm like, how many things can I do before they get back?
I tried the butterbeer. Yeah, Harry Potter World was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
not enough Dobby for me, but what are you gonna do?
Yep.
Anyway, so Star Wars hired that new producer, Michelle Rejwan, and everybody hates her because she's a female, and God forbid a female runs a company or whatever. I don't know.
It's
I'm just like,
already one running the company.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, oh, she's a female. I hate her. This is how we get views, Brock. Just grrr.
I'm not gonna say we launched the picture, but ever since we used the picture of her holding the X-wing fighter in front of her for like our thumbnail for the live stream, I'm seeing it constantly on Instagram, and I'm still like, who? This is not news in my like. Yes, I would like to comment on it, but I'm like, this is not exciting news. It's not like, oh, we found out that Luke is not dead. He's in the Millennium Falcon, and now him and Rey are gonna soar the galaxy. That's news. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's gonna do a good job. I'm not crapping on that, but I'm like, who cares? I mean, yeah, I guess she's the new person we can blame if something goes wrong, but like, she hasn't even done anything to our knowledge yet.
My only thing is it's super exciting to me because this tells me that there's somebody in charge of the plan whose main goal is to focus on the plan. I don't give a rat's butt who it is, as long as they can do it. And I don't know anything about Michelle Rejwan. Yeah. I don't. And I'm not going to pretend to sit here and be like, she's overqualified or underqualified or why would they get... I don't know. I don't care. Like, that's not my job. My job is to go sit in the theater, eat some popcorn, and like Aaron said, look like an idiot smiling for 2 hours while the movie plays out in front of me. That's all I want out of Star Wars. I don't care. Those names in the credits deserve all the respect in the world.
Yeah.
But I don't care who they are as long as what I see in front of me is awesome. And so far, she hasn't done anything to disappoint me because I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is. And I'm okay with that. You know why I'm okay with that? Because I just said, I don't know who she is. If I knew who she was, that could be because she was terrible at her job, maybe. Yeah. Maybe she produced Basketball.
Hey, that's a good movie.
It's a great movie. But you know what I mean? Like, she's produced a lot of comedies in the past. I know that.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe we'll get some more humor in these. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Larry David will show up in Star Wars. Is that bad? I don't know. I think people get up their panties in a bunch. Is that the expression? I don't know what the expression is.
It's like it's like they're treating it like she's a flat earther or something. Or it's like she wants to make America great again, and she thinks we're all living in the Matrix. Like, is she insane or something? I don't understand.
Did she come out and be like, Star Wars needs more of this? And everybody's like, no, it doesn't. Like, she hasn't said anything. She's been like, I like Star Wars, and I learned a lot from this. And I'm like, okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Do your job. Do it well. That's all I care about. I don't like. I'm just so annoyed with there's so much nonsense going on out there. Like, I sent you a thing on Twitter where people were complaining about Rey at Galaxy's Edge.
Oh,
It's like a freaking college student trying to earn a living, and you guys are complaining because she's like, I don't know, like what, her eyelashes are too long. It's like, shut up.
It was
the little girls are loving this, and you guys are bitching.
Yeah, like, she lives on a desert planet. She wouldn't wear eyeliner. I'm like, first of all, it's a movie. Daisy Ridley was wearing makeup. She wasn't wearing the stereotypical crazy like contouring, but she was in a movie. She was wearing makeup, so she looks good on camera. Come on.
Yeah, it's like,
I will say it's nice for those details, but like, it's Disney. They don't know what they're doing. And like, they're taking their time with Galaxy's Edge because they're like, okay, this is something new we're doing, and also it's Star Wars. Yeah. Like, this park is now canon, right? Like, it's such a big deal that Coke is now canon in the Star Wars universe.
It's not. It's in a theme park. It is like, I'm sorry, your 30-something-year-old self can't get past it. Like, relax. Like, the little kids that are in the park are having like, I love the videos that people are taking of kids being like threatened by the First Order or Rey like sneaking around the park. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And do you think they care that the eyeliner is a different shade that she had in the first scene of The Force Awakens? Who cares? Like, these kids they're for kids.
Yeah.
You're 30, 40, 50 years old. Go on the Millennium Falcon ride. Be like, that was awesome. And shut up and go to the cantina and get some blue milk. Like, stop complaining about a theme park. A theme park. Brock, when I was a kid and I saw Donald Duck at Disney, I was like, well, that's not Donald Duck. That's a guy in a costume. But it didn't ruin anything. Like, it was Donald Duck. And I was like, go buy me it. And I went and I bought myself a Donald Duck ceramic figurine.
Speaking of which, I have a whole bunch of Donald Duck stickers for you, so remind me to bring them to you next time I see you.
I actually had a birthday present for you and I forgot to give it to
Yeah, I know.
Darryl.
A friend of the podcast, Darryl P. Lewis. That's not his middle name.
He got me this shirt.
Is it that Raptor shirt? Or no, the Greedo shirt. You got the Raptors hat, right? Or did...
No, he got me a Greedo shirt and a Yoshi shirt.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I told him to get the Mario ones. Uniqlo. I've said it before. Yeah. Uniqlo. What a great place.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, for sure. No, I actually asked him for the Yoshi one.
Oh, you asked
me
for it? Okay.
Like when I asked you for the Ewok one, like before that, like a month before that, I was like, "Can you get me the Yoshi one?" He goes, "Yeah, I can."
I don't know. Like, I sleep 20 feet away from our good friend Darryl, or not in the same room, but like in the same house. But it's probably 30 feet apart. But he's in the basement, and I haven't spoken to him in 3 weeks because I'm just not home when he's home. So it's like, I wonder what he got him.
Anyway, everybody needs to just relax. It's a theme park. Let Michelle Rejwan do her job. And you know what? If the next 3 movies come out, the next 3 live action, whatever come out, and you're not happy, voice your complaint. But if you are happy, voice your satisfaction. Mm-hmm. Go both ways on it. Don't be out. That's female dog out.
Yeah.
And only like complain when it goes wrong. Applaud when it goes right.
Yeah.
If you like something, let everyone know. And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, based on what we're doing, your views will suffer.
What'd you say?
Your views will suffer if you're positive. Be negative and you'll be a billionaire on YouTube. That's not a thing. I'm making that up. All right. Brock, I've ranted most of this time.
So this is the ranting podcast, the Ranty Scum podcast.
It's just, you go online and there's so much there, and I've like drowned out a lot of negativity, but there's so much positivity. But then this theme park stuff, it kind of, and then Michelle Rejwan, like people are like questioning this hiring. Well, look, if she was hired, it was based on something.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, Kathleen Kennedy grabbed a hat, or Bob Iger, whoever it was, grabbed the hat and was like, Michelle Rejwan. No, it was like this. It was like, well, let's look at the candidates. This person, this person, this person, this person.
Yeah.
You are all qualified to some degree, but let's find out who's right for the job.
Yeah.
And then they went through an interview process, and they talked, and they discussed. Yeah. And at the end of it, Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy said, this is the person that is best for the job.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the cast members at Disney parks have a hard enough job as it is, especially if they're characters. Like, if you're a Disney princess character in Magic Kingdom, like, Belle or Ariel or Cinderella, you can't not be in character. There's a guy that plays Gaston that's a pretty popular fan favorite. That, like, they have to be in character all the time. They only talk to you as a character and what have you, and like that's gotta be stressful. They have to look exactly like these characters. So like, let's not crap on them. They're just doing their job. It's a magical, magical place. And if you're not happy when you're there, maybe you should leave, because
let somebody else in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's for kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say
like we can.
Go ahead.
No, like we can all want to go and have a great time, but ultimately it's for kids. It's for kids.
Yeah. I was gonna save this story for Hallow News, but it just came up today that apparently people are taking things from Galaxy's Edge that are not supposed to be taken, like sporks from like one of the cantina, or like I think when you get on the Millennium Falcon ride, you're given a card and you're like, okay, I'm the pilot, I'm the engineer, I'm reading this, and then you're supposed to leave it. People are taking that and surprise, surprise, selling it on eBay. So things that didn't cost them anything, ideally, they're charging. People are getting like the $100, $200 lightsabers and charging like $600 on eBay for them because they're like, well, people will buy it because like it'd be easier to buy it this way than get to the park. And that
actually, not really. No, it's
yeah, I know people are kind of ruining it because now like Disney's seeing what's getting sold and taking those things away, and you know it's like people are ruining it for everyone else. But
this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, so hopefully, you know, in 2020 when we end up at Anaheim, we're assuming there's going to be more rides, correct? And perhaps
Rise of the Resistance for sure, yes.
Yes. And like, you know, maybe there'll be new drinks, maybe there'll be new food, maybe there'll be cheaper prices. I don't know, you know, right? Like everything's high because there's high volume and you can make money, and then also I think like they raise prices as well to not over like to get greedy, but like I think they're like, okay, we can only make this much, so if you're gonna buy this, we have to price this, because I think I could be totally wrong. This is just on my opinion. Disney promotes the idea, bring food into the park. There's no, as much as the food is expensive, you're totally allowed to bring a cooler. You're totally allowed to bring your own drinks and water. I don't think you can bring alcohol, but like you can legit walk around with a rolling cooler. Like there's places to store them. There's no one stopping you from bringing those things because they know how many people are going to come in. So it's like, okay, it'd be easier if you just brought your own food. So it's like that shouldn't. It's like you are making the decision to spend this money. So I don't know. It maybe in 2020 it'll be an easier place to go to. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm going to go no matter what.
Can't wait. All right, let's move on to Never Tell Me the Odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Today's odds are brought to us once again by Patreon.
Oh, Patreon. Everybody's favorite.
Everyone's favorite Patreon. Today's Patreons are Heidi Feder. Thanks for joining us last week, Heidi. That was a lot of fun. Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Christine Allison, Mary Kristen Athen, Jeff Wilson, Aaron Quinton, Al Schuler,
Phil Staniforth, JRB Nerdcast, Scott D, Jacob Nixon, Andy Higgins, Mason Hope, Matt W, Tony Comstock, FP, and everybody's favorite, the Den of Nerds.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Den of Nerds. Yeah, Darth Maul is appearing in episode 9.
It's called Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, that's a toonie for the Anaheim jar. All right, here we go. Our first odd. The odds are behind the scenes real at San Diego Comic-Con.
Sorry, say that one more time.
The odds of a
right.
Behind the scenes reel of the Rise of Skywalker at San Diego Comic-Con.
I mean, I believe it was announced a couple days ago that they're not making an appearance, but it doesn't mean they couldn't just have like an impromptu thing, right? Like that'd be awesome. Again, you don't have to.
I think. I think we're gonna get Mandalorian at Comic-Con. But you know what? D23 is coming, and that's when they're going to give us that stuff. I'm going 11%.
I'm going to go 0 because I believe them. I think it would be a baller move to like, you know, we have a Marvel panel, and it's like, oh, by the way, do you guys like Star Wars? And then they play, and then that drop mic. Oh, that would be epic. But yeah, 0%.
Odds of Sheevy P's return being connected to Luke Skywalker's death.
You know how I feel about Palpatine. I'm gonna go 10%. I'm down for it, but like, I don't know. as much as Palpatine is important in the prequels, like he's kind of unimportant in the original trilogy. He's just a tripping block for one movie. You know what I mean? I think he's a great villain, but like, I don't think there's a real connection between Luke and Palpatine. But like I said, like if you can spin a cool tale, go for it. So
I got to go full Brock because I agree with you on the connection between them, but at the same time, Luke is the most powerful Jedi. He's the last Jedi and all this stuff. And so in order for CVP to feel like he can finally return, maybe he needs that Jedi to die. As Snoke says, if Skywalker returns, the Jedi will rise or whatever, right? So maybe they need that. Hey, look, there's this whole idea that possibly Kylo Ren was never actually seduced by the dark side, and maybe all of that nonsense that happens with Luke Skywalker and Kylo was all fabricated just to kind of trick CVP into returning in some capacity.
Yeah.
I just made that up right now. That maybe that the idea that Luke and Ben both knew that there was some evil at play, and so they needed to pretend that Ben turned to the dark side to kind of bring out CVP, and maybe Ben had to go deeper than he ever wanted to and actually had to kill his father, and that's when he says, I know what I have to do. He kills his father because not to turn to the dark side, but to lure out Palpatine.
Sure. I don't hate it. Like
I don't think so, but
it's so many things that you have to be like, oh, by the way. I mean,
I just said that so we have a title for this podcast.
I think. I mean, it piques my interest. We were talking about on the live stream on Monday. Andrew mentions like, oh, this has all been a plan all along, and if you go back in the books, you can find little pieces or whatever. Or at least that's what they're saying. And I'm like, that's fine. I like that idea, but like, I don't know. I think it might be a little bogus. I think like the story group keeps their hidden, like their ace up their sleeve close to their chest. They don't tell the authors. They're like, oh, by the way, you're gonna say something along this that will make no sense until Rise of Skywalker. I think it would be fantastic, but I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, our final odd is brought to us by. She's not done yet, Brock. Heidi Feder has come back to give us her last odd. Here it is.
Hey guys, I have a never tell me the odds for you. If Rey turns out not to be a Skywalker and she's either a Kenobi, a Palpatine, Solo's love child, or a nobody, what are the odds that the next saga will be about her and the new rebellion fighting the First Order or the new Empire going beyond Kylo Ren and the Skywalkers in general? I was just wondering about that.
All right, thanks, Heidi. What are the odds of that, Brock?
I know you've been sitting on this odd for longer than a week because we've been meaning to record this one for a while, but life gets in the way. If this was a week ago, I would be like full rock, or I'm going to say 75% just to give an answer. But as you will find out in Hallow News, there is 0% that she's coming back, or like
no, but also if you watch the Good Morning America interview, she kind of doesn't. She gives two different answers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so vague.
America,
but...
she's like, on Good Morning America, they're like, will you be in the next one? She's like, oh, I don't know. Because like, the thing is, she doesn't know. But I'm going to go 7.9%.
Yeah. I mean, there's also a good chance that, like, she'll be mentioned in other movies or something along that. And you know that if they close the door on that character, then they'll start making more stuff, like comics or whatever. So I would love to have Daisy Ridley in future shows, or future movies. That's what my mom calls movies. We're going to the show. Yeah, no.
She might also be. That character might also be dead by the next time we see her. All right, thanks, Heidi. If you guys have any Patrons, you guys watch the video that I did. All right, and Brock, Hallow News. Wait, this is in honor of Aaron Quinton, Patreon supporter Aaron Quinton, who watched the show fully a couple weeks ago. He sent me a video of him singing our old. Do you remember our old theme song for Hallow News?
Hallow news.
Hollow news.
did.
Hollow news.
News.
Live from Coruscant. So there you
We
go.
will go
Aaron.
to Naboo and then Tatooine, and it's you and me. Anyways, Hollow news. As I just mentioned, Daisy Ridley is just saying, I'm not going to be in the next movie. Apparently, I think she was doing an interview with BuzzFeed, and you know how great of a journalistic outlet they are. Top 10 places to get selfies done, or like, we'll guess your age by what you order at Baskin Robbins. She was in an interview recently, and she said, from what I know, I'm not going to be in the next one. It's a no right now. But, you know, there's nobody stopping nothing from happening, you know. Mark Hamill wasn't supposed to be in the next one, I think. So now he is. It must be interesting because, you know, Daisy Ridley has said, I had a conversation with Colin Trevorrow about what his episode 9 was going to be. And then I believe I read recently, too, that J.J. Abrams told her the entire synopsis in, like, a cafe. And she's like, you're talking really loud. But then when they actually shot it, it was totally different. So we all know scripts can change. And this is kind of old news, but I want to say, because it's a fun story, we talked about it on the Monday live stream. Pablo Hidalgo, our Canadian brother, and basically the Star Wars historian that knows every nook and cranny of Star Wars, found a interesting error in Empire Strikes Back, where in the scene where Luke is being hung upside down by the Wampa and his lightsaber is in the snow, if you look closely enough, it says New York on the bottom, which it used to be it's the tube, the flash tube. I got it here. Where is it? A Graflex flash holder for a camera, I believe, just a typical old style flash camera. And if you look, it says Graflex made in New York. Everything else was obscured except for the New York. So New York is now canon. So that's cool. Like, nobody else has noticed this, and it's really fun that Pablo Hidalgo, of all people, discovered it. He's like, I've watched this movie several times, and you know, obviously you might have noticed it in the theater because it's a bigger image, but like to see it now that our films are looking better and better on TVs, he saw it. So that's fun. Sorry, it's old news, but we got to talk about it. Also, we did that story. Here's one I've been waiting on. Snoke will appear in some new comics. If you've been reading Marvel's Star Wars, following along the last few months, there's been the Age of Republic, Age of Rebellion, and now they're slowly moving into Age of Resistance. So we're going to see, I believe, the Finn and the Rey and Poe comics have come out or about to come out this month. But next month in July, we're going to get a whole new smattering of them, and it's going to be Age of Resistance Rose Tico, Age of Resistance Supreme Leader Snoke, and Age of Resistance, Rey has not come out, and Kylo Ren. We already had Poe, Hux, and Phasma and Finn is what we're about to get. So we're going to see some Supreme Leader Snoke mixed in his own story, not with Kylo Ren or not in like a Rey story of some sort. It's going to be strictly him, so that's going to be really interesting. Let me see if I got a synopsis here. It will delve into young Ben's seemingly endless granddaddy issues and the lingering specter of Anakin Skywalker's fall to the dark side that hovers around the young man. Sorry, that was the Kylo Ren synopsis. In Snoke's synopsis, it will chart the early days of his corruption of Ben and start of the young boy's training as a dark apprentice as the mysterious Darksider contemplates just how best to break the latest son of the Skywalker line. Boom! Coming out in July. If you love Grandmaster Snoke, Supreme Leader Snoke, you gotta pick this up. I'm sure like the Kylo Ren and the Snoke might fit nicely together. It's a good pickup. But check that out. And then our final story. This is a fun one. Apparently, if you remember in Empire Strikes Back, there's a gentleman running around in Cloud City with what looks like an ice cream maker. Well, that item has now been given a name. It is called a Camptano, which is a type of safe. And the reason why it's named is like it will be seen in The Mandalorian, where Werner Herzog's character, who has not been identified yet, but apparently he is going to give the Mandalorian one of these Camptanos for finishing a job, and it's going to have something, either money or credits or maybe a secret or some kind of plot device, a MacGuffin even, to get us to some cool story. But it's been called that, and it was teased by Jon Favreau on his Twitter, I believe, and it looks exactly like what it looked like in Empire Strikes Back, except we have more details and it's a little bit more sleek. So yeah, that's fun. Yeah, this has been the Hallow News. The news you need to know right now.
Hallow News. Da, 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 da. Hallow News. And we're going to be standing by for Top 5.
Top 5! Standing by.
Top 5. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. We're going back to our roots.
What's our top 5 today?
Today, top 5 are brought to us in part by our Patreon, Andy Higgins. Andy, thanks so much for bringing this to our attention. Their top 5 action figures or toys.
Yes, good.
Andy says, I know you guys don't have kids, so it's probably not, you don't care. And I was like, we are kids. So my top 5 might actually be very boring, but these are toys that are near and dear to my heart, and I don't care. What about you, Brock? Do you have a good top 5?
I think so, because it's not, you know me and my Funkos and my action figures. I could just put this one and this one and this one and this one. But I tried to be a little creative with this one. So, you ready?
Well, I didn't put any Funkos on mine. So what's your number 5?
My number 5 actually is your Funko. I don't own this one. The Funko General Grievous, because it just has so many details, and for a character that's very very thin, and the action figure for Grievous is kind of weird sometimes because of how his limbs work. It looks great, and I'm assuming you're pulling it out and showing it to the screen. It's a fantastic. It was exclusive, I think, with the Smuggler's Bounty. So
Walgreens.
Yeah. Oh, Walgreens. But
I
yeah,
know that because as you said, I did grab it for everybody to look at. It is behind me on the desk.
Nice.
None of mine are behind me on my desk. That is one of my favorite Funkos. It's great. It's up there with my Kid Fisto and my Anakins. What else? I have a bunch of Funkos that I really. By the way, Funkos, the Han Solo Funkos, are available at Dollarama. I got Han Solo and Lando, and a coworker of mine got me Chewbacca.
Nice.
A friend at work got me Chewbacca, all from Dollarama. So hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
Oh God,
so I can get more Dollarama Han Solo figures. My number 5 is the old school 1980 Tauntaun.
Ooh, yeah.
I like that figure more than I like the animal in the movie, which I do like the animal in the movie. I love the animal in Battlefront as well. But I think I said this on last week's episode. I used to get Yoda stuck in that thing all the time. And I loved it. And I'd be like, Dad, Yoda's stuck. And he'd be like, James, Yoda doesn't go on the Tauntaun. And so that was one of my favorites. I always loved that one.
That's one of those things that if you have in the original box, the box is almost better than the toy, because just the style of the box used to come in, they're redoing it now, but it's great.
Yeah, it's cool that they redo it. For me, a lot of those original toys from before I was born came from older cousins that kind of were like, I'm done playing with toys. I used to go to my mom's cousin's cottage every summer.
Yeah.
And every summer, my cousins will all get a year older, obviously. And I was the youngest by years, and they'd be like, here's my Star Wars toys. I would come home with buckets of Star Wars figures from that. And I think that's how I got my Tauntaun. So I never saw the box when I was a kid, but I did get the Tauntaun, and it was awesome. Dad, get the Tauntaun. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is a little obtuse, but I'm just gonna say the Black Series figures. As you can see, I have all my Stormtroopers here. I love collecting specific, but the details in the Black Series, and Andrew Fantasia will back me up on this, it's just wonderful. Things they do with that is awesome. So I couldn't choose one. I just that series in general. Not the small ones. They're good too. But the 6-inch ones, Fantastico.
Yeah. I went with the Elite series, especially the original six that they came out with, because those were the most fun. And I think those are the best detailed figures that I've ever had of everything. I like the Elite series, but Poe Dameron's eyes are like messed up. His Black series, I mean, like the Elite series, I find are they're pretty top notch. I haven't got them since the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped for more than one reason. I had to stop. But I did. But Andrew picked me up the Praetorian Guard from Last Jedi at Celebration this year. So that's my number. I couldn't pick one either, so I went with the Elite series for my number 4.
Yeah, I always go into Disney and look at them, and like sometimes I just like, because especially right now they put out a lot of droids. Like there's like the Gonk droid, and I think different astromechs. I'm like, ooh.
When our dollar went to poop, those prices skyrocketed. So it kind of hurt. But anyway.
What's your number 3?
Your number 3.
My
number 3 is my number 3 is the original Millennium Falcon toy. I used to put my Han and Chewie in the cockpit. Used to fly it around in my basement in Brampton, Ontario, where Michael Cera's from. And he used to go, "Bah." He wasn't bored this time.
Yeah.
And I used to, and I would play around with those ones. And I would step on my He-Man, and I broke 4 or 5 He-Man figures. And my parents were like, "We're not buying you He-Man anymore. You've broken too many of them."
Are you sure you broke it? Because you remember how the one He-Man figure, you could flick his chest and he would get damaged? Maybe
I had that one. No, I had that and the Skeletor. No, I would step on the arm and the arm would. I did that with my Winston Ghostbuster as well. My dad, they wouldn't buy me another. They were like, "We're done with this." He screwed his arm in. There's like this. If I can find, I'll show him next week because I think I have it. There's a giant screw in the arm of my Winston action figure. And it's just like massive. But whatever. You know what? I was a kid and I stepped on my He-Mans while I was playing Star Wars, and that's how it was. Then they gave all my toys to charity.
And that's why you don't speak to your parents anymore.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is it's almost a viral phenomenon. The Chewbacca mask from about 2 years ago, made famous by Chewbacca Mom, because she put it on, started laughing, and with the mouth opens and shuts, and he goes, so good,
amazing.
Like it's
okay that mine's not movie quality.
It's an item that, like, if this woman hadn't bought it and made a video of it, people would have passed it by. I mean, I think people would be like, "Oh, that's cool," but like, it really took on a whole new thing because of that. Disney,
every time they sell one, Disney should give her a share of it. Just like, "Here's a dime, we sold one." Because she put that thing on them. I would not look at that thing twice, but when she did, I'm like, maybe this is a good idea. My number 2 are the entire series of the Attack of the Clones action figures. There was something about those that you've seen. I have like a small collection of them. My R2-D2 is yellow right now. I got them all back from my dad recently, and I was like, R2's yellow. I just had a lot of fun going out and trying to find those ones when I could. So my number 2 is the Attack of the Clones series of figures.
I gotta give a shout out. I should have told you about this. There's an Instagram feed. I forget what it's called, but it's literally this dude that collects all the Star Wars action figures, mostly like from like the 90s onward, and it's just different. He sets them up and then it's like, this is the Lando from the Star Wars 2000 re-release. And it's like, it's very nice. But it's got stuff like that, like Attack of the Clones. I can't remember what it is. Maybe I'll look it up while you're talking, but great Instagram feed. It's amazing how people can entrance you. Anyways, my number 2, we're going back to the Black Series. Specifically, I wanted to not talk about action figures, but I'm calling it the Black Series lightsabers. So the current lightsabers you can buy now, because the detail is so good, and even the part that lights up is it's way better than it used to be. You know what I mean? Remember when it was just you would flick it and it would go out like this? It looks like there's that glass plastic around where the LED light or whatever it is kind of gives it that feel of a lightsaber before it's even on. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's why I can't wait to see what the Galaxy's Edge $200 saber looks like. It's got to be that on roids. And my number 1, I went to the toy store with my mom when I was a youth, and she had the employee reach to the top shelf. She had to ask somebody to get it off the top shelf and bring it down. And she said, "Young James, little James, this is for you." And I said, Mom, you're the best. I always wanted the Ewok Village, Bright Tree Village. Oh my God, Brock. This thing was incredible. It came with Logray and another Ewok, and I think Wicket, because I have all three of them. And it was the Ewok frickin' village. Amazing. Amazing. Incredible. Unbelievable. I'll never forget. I was like 4 years old when my mom, I remember it vividly. Like, we were in this toy store, and she's like, we need that. And I was like, we do need that. She's right. That's what we need. Like, Dad, work overtime. We need to get that. And they got it for me, and I was like, whoa, this is what spoiled is like. So it was one of my great, and that's gone as well.
And I've said this to you before because we've looked it up. They took that same mold and made the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves treehouse. Because I had that one, and I'm like, when you showed me a picture of the Ewok Village, I'm like, I have this too.
If only I had mine, we could combine ours and make one giant village.
Oh, that would be amazing to keep it and be like, this is not it.
By the way, for my birthday, I did get a bow and arrow, so my Janna cosplay is very close to being complete.
My number one is kind of similar to your number three, but I called it the 90s Millennium Falcon. I would love to put those two together. So the re-release of the action figures in the 90s when we were kids, I had more of those than the original 80s ones. But I remember someone I knew had that one. Or maybe it was an 80s one, but it looked newer. It was just massive. It was so big because it had to be scale with the action figures, right? So if I had one today, I'd be like, why do I own this? I feel like I would mount it on the wall or something because it's so big. Because it's where would you put it? We'll just leave it on the dining room table. It's totally fine. Just work around it. But that's my number one.
Amazing. It was the original one that I had. I think it was similar to what you're talking about. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
They don't make. I don't think they make toys like they used to. It's just, I don't know. I look at the solo figures and I like them, but they're not. They're missing something. Maybe they're missing me as a child. That could be it. Or whatever.
I think
they're missing something.
I think the Black Series has really started taking over for quality figures, but then it's kids aren't, parents, not kids will buy whatever. If they had money, they'd buy anything. But parents aren't going to spend the $20 to $30 on a Black Series in comparison to the cheaper, those larger, skinnier action figures. They do it for Marvel and now they do it for Star Wars. That's your best buy for a kid because it's just for
$10.
Here you go.
I'm not gonna lie. The Resistance figures, I have the Commander Pyre because I think he's the coolest looking character right now. I have that one, and I'm not gonna. If I had a kid that was old, that was age 4+, I would get them these figures for sure because they're cartoony and they're fun looking. Yeah. And they're just I'm like, this is a good time, to me that's a good time because again, toys, as Andy said to me earlier, they're for kids. So let's not forget that as well. Black Series are great for us, but you're not gonna give a 4-year-old a Black Series. You're like, that thing cost me $30. You put that down.
As I'm slowly surrounded by plastic figurines.
But it's fine. I'm not saying that. It's just when we complain about them, it's the same as a Disney park thing. It's for kids. Let's chill, relax, and have a good time. All right, Brock, 131 episodes of the Rebel Scum podcast. I can't believe it's been this long. I can't believe people are still listening to us after I complained about Disney parks. About people complaining about Disney parks. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate letters for that one. Yeah. I say letters. There's hate emails. Why would you say that? They look terrible. Ray. I still want to know if they're going to remove Rey and Kylo in the month of December. December 20th, they're just they're not in the park anymore because they're off on Pasana. Yeah, they can't be on Batu because they're on Pasana right now. And then you're oh, okay, I buy that. And then they have somebody else on the park at that time, Watto. Anyway, Brock, I hope you had a great time today with me here talking Star Wars.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's wrap this up. One thing I want to say to you from the bottom of my heart, I just want you to know that you were always scum.
Rebel scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.